Hello and welcome to Thoughtful Thursday. I am Amy and today I am here with Miss Emily. We're gonna go through the final word on the cross, do a little recap on what we've been talking about, but see where that leaves us for tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. So we will see you shortly, and we'll be reading, I'm gonna forget what we're reading today. Do you know what we're reading today?
Yes, Luke 23, 44 through 45.
All right. That is where we were going, so we'll see you in just a moment. Hello, we are back. And so I am here with Emily. Hey, Emily.
Hello.
Can you give us a little information on who you are and why you're here today?
Sure. My name is Emily Andrews, and my family and I have been coming here for just under 2 years now, and my family loves it. And so I just wanted to talk with you, Amy, about...
Yes, Get Thoughtful.
Yes.
I invited Emily because I invite anybody. I am enjoying this as a way to get insight from you guys, from myself, from anybody who wants to join in. And so you're welcome to contact me. Otherwise, I'll be contacting you at some point, probably.
This is true.
So we are looking at Luke today, and it has the final words on the cross. So Luke 23, and we started at 45 and doing 46 and 47. So what are those words for us today, Miss Emily?
Okay. I have, let's see. You want 45 through 40?
You have 46.
Yep.
Yeah, I said 47 too.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
We'll stick at 45 and 46 then.
Okay. For the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last.
He breathed his last. So that is that final dying moment on the cross. You see him, you're hearing from him. Luke is the one that has this specific statement of the curtain, and then the into your hands I commit my spirit. So it's a prayer. It's his final prayer as a human, as he's going out. And so we're going to start off with the curtain. The curtain is a major thing. It's written in the gospel, 3 of the 4. And with this curtain, it's included in the death of Jesus. And so there's a significance in that. What is that significance to you? What did you find on that?
I didn't know a whole lot about the curtain, and so when you had mentioned these were the verses that we were going to be discussing, I looked up a little bit more about it, and that the curtain is very massive. It was like, one of the sources I saw said it was like 60 feet long, 30 feet wide, or tall, and as wide as a man's hand, and it was, yeah. So I don't know how they did that, and...
That's a good question. It's a massive thing. And going along with that, I was reading that it wasn't like curtain, like you open the curtains here in front of the stage. It is actually a vertical curtain that it goes up, and you had to have like other people, the other priests at that time had to lift this up, and it was heavy. And as they lifted up, the big priest, I don't remember what they're actually called. But the head honcho priest that was able to go in the holiest of holies, because that's where they were going, and do the sacraments and all the traditions of that, technically the Old Testament. And so that's where they go, and they only did that once a year.
Yes, yeah, that's what I found too in the research. And so it was keeping everyone out, and it was a very holy, special place because the presence of God was behind it.
Yes, and so that presence, that I think is where the big thing is, that this massive curtain got ripped. It got torn in two, and so there's different analogies on what happened with that. Whether Jesus was able to go into the Holy of Holies or God was able to come out, but there's a connection there that is no longer specific to a high priest. It is now open for all of us.
Yes.
Through Jesus.
Yes.
And so that's one of those moments where it's like it was written, and that was that big thing to symbolize that, because the curtain.
Yeah.
And so as we're looking through that and we're seeing this big curtain, and we see Jesus on that cross in his final moments and his final words, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." I see it as his final prayer, because he's talking to the Father. And that's how we talk to the Father, through Jesus and prayer and all that fun stuff. And so what do those final words mean to you?
For me, if you're going to commit something to someone, it really shows your trust, that if you're going to commit. And so Jesus is saying, I commit my life to you, God. And so he is trusting his life to God. And also just the way that the prayer that he speaks it shows their intimacy that they have with one another, and that they have that relationship with one another.
Absolutely. I love that you focus on the word commit.
Yeah.
That commitment, like we make a commitment, committed to my husband. You have a husband as well that
Yes.
you're committed to. We commit to Jesus when we have our baptism, our reaffirmation, those different moments in our life where we're committing ourselves, we're giving over of what we are. And there are so many different situations that we can do that. And so it's interesting that those are the specific words that he uses.
Yeah.
I love it. And going through those and seeing that it, like you were talking about, intimacy. That's the word you were using.
Yes.
And that is an intimate moment is. Like, wow. But the thing is, that commitment to him, he's committing his spirit to the Father, but in doing that, he's giving of himself to us too. So it comes full circle back to us. And so it's one of those that I love it when things connect in so much. It's spaghetti to me. Everything connects. And so as we move through that and we see how that's working, and you're seeing that those final moments that Jesus is trusting, and he's showing his trust in God, and he's showing he's ready for the end. He has made it to this moment. He says his final prayer and he is ready. And then there he goes. But then he comes back. But we'll get there. But how are we supposed to prepare for that final moment? What do you think?
I like that. I think if we live a life looking at Jesus, the way he modeled his life for us, I like the way of thinking of it is to love God and to love others. And so, and what does that look like to love God? And it's to have that relationship with him, like we were talking about, commit to him. And so praying and, talking to him and asking him questions, and then loving others is being kind to others and to all the people. Like you talk about with the curtain, that it removed that so that it didn't have to be just the high priest to go in there, that it was open to everyone and open for our relationship with God. We can just really go right to him. We can talk to him. We don't have to have anybody intercess for us.
Absolutely. And so being able to talk to him and converse with him, I've been reading a book about how God whispers to you, and that like he knows you and he knows you and me of ourselves, and that spirit within us actually talks to us. It might not be a voice in your head. It might not be as obvious as you might think, but he knows how you speak, whether it's through music and he flows through the music. I like dancing to the beat of my own drum. I think it's God's drum, so that's how I roll. But that moment of that prayer and connection, it takes time, it takes process, but you commit and you keep that going, you keep working on that through that prayer and that growing with others, talking with others, that you're going to build that foundation, build that connection. There's another word I'm looking for in there. It's to do with communication between the two people. And I will probably tell you what it is later. I can't remember it right now, but as you're going through that and you're finding that, it's impressive to see how people use that to commit to growing further and loving others. Yeah. And so we've got Holy Week. We're in Holy Week. So we've been celebrating, and if you listened to Jason yesterday, he was geeking out. I love it. Jason, geek out anytime you want. But I can also geek out too. It's one of those things that this is Holy Week. This is that moment where we can go, thank you, because that final moment, that final death, but then he's resurrected. Yeah. And so it's this, it keeps building and it keeps going, and every year I swear it gets better and better for me. So as we're looking into that, how are you going to celebrate Easter this year?
We are having our yard egged by the students. We haven't had that happen before.
No,
we haven't participated in that, so we're excited. So that's one way. It's just a fun thing for the kids to do. Mm-hmm. And this year for Lent, I did give up chocolate. That is hard. Mm-hmm. It is really hard. And so what I'm training myself to do is when I want chocolate, which is a lot, and I just pray to the Lord and just say, even sometimes if it's just like one word, just Jesus, that's my prayer when I have those cravings for chocolate. And so we will be going to church on Easter, and we're just going to have a fun meal as a family.
Yay! Mm-hmm. And I love that. It's one of those that it can be simple, a simple celebration. If you've seen the video of Jason and his family inviting people to Easter, you see the fun little dresses for Lizzie. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I want to wear my dress. Well, okay, I don't have like that. I have a poofy dress though, and I'm like, I want to put that on. Can I do that?
Yes.
So yes, celebrate how you want to celebrate. It's a celebration, and when we get to Easter Day, it is that celebration where it's amazing. He has risen. He is alive, and he is well, and he wants us to be that way too. And so as we're walking into this week, tomorrow is Good Friday. It's actually where we take that moment, that final moment on that cross, and we resonate on that for a while and see that death. But Sunday's coming.
That's true.
And so take that in. Take that all in. Join us, whether you watch online or whether you come in person, join us. That's part of being part of the family, being part of the church and everybody working together. So we can't wait to see you then. And then we'll be back next Thursday. You get to join me again. And when we do that, we'll have something new for you. Or maybe we'll recap what Easter is. We'll have to see what the Spirit says. I'll have to listen really carefully. I really will. So you guys have a wonderful week. And thank you, Miss Emily.
Yeah, thank you, Amy.
Have a good one. Bye. Maybe. There we go.